him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack 'em a gob! It's time for the only news that matters. And former Deep Purple bassist Glen Hughes has no interest in reuniting with his old bandmates on the account of what he felt to be disrespectful behavior at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction in 2016. In a recent interview with Guitar Interactive, Hughes directed his attention toward Ian Gillan and Roger Glover and Ian Paice, the three long-standing members in the band. Hughes and singer David Coverdale joined Deep Purple and replaced Gillan and Glover, respectively, in 1973 to 1976, though they were also included in the 2016 induction. He said, "I will never speak to any of them again, simply because they were rude," Hughes said about Gillan, Glover, and Paice. Both Roger, Ian, and Gillan were rude to David Coverdale and I. Very, very hurtful. I don't give a fuck, actually, because I know they were rude to begin with. I was the only sober man there. I don't care about those guys. Gillan was rude to me on stage, accepting the award. I went to congratulate them. He looked at me in the eyes like I didn't exist. The guy has a problem with me, period. I'll let him run with it. I feel bad for him. I'm really sorry about his wife. Gillan's wife of 40 years died in 2022. And I try to reach out to him, and he doesn't want to know. Ian Gillan has spoken publicly about the 2016 induction, specifically emphasizing in the 2021 interview with Tales from the Road that we were very kind to everybody. And all those other comments were opportunistic remarks from the others. According to Hughes, the absence of connection between himself and Gillan is not from lack of trying. He said, "I tried to make some kind of friendship with him over the last 40 years. He doesn't want to know. David Coverdale and I don't exist to him. I wish him only the very best, but I have no time left for that behavior." Well, there you go. Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, and Ian Paice were all rude to Coverdale and Glen Hughes. Why would Ian Paice be rude to him? I mean, he was a bandmate. I mean, why would either? I don't know. There seems to be something missing here. Or these three are just douchebags. Glover, Gillan, and Paice. No other way about it. Either there's something wrong there that happened in the past, or these three guys are douchebags. I don't know. Did Glen Hughes do something really wrong to all three of them back in, let's say, the 70s when he was on every type of drug under the sun? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But I would like to believe that if the great John Lord was still alive, that he would have been nice to him. You know, John Lord seemed like such a cool dude. Never heard nothing bad about him. Now, if Richie Blackmore showed up at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, yeah, I'd expect him to be a douche to everybody, because that's Blackmore. It's expected. I never heard anything bad about Gillan or Glover or Ian Paice, so that's kind of surprising to me. The only thing I ever heard about Ian Gillan was he liked to dress in women's clothes and go in hotels and stuff. I read something like that a long time ago. I forgot who said it, or maybe it was a one-time thing, but I kind of remember it saying that he liked dressing in women's clothes and going through hotels, hotel lobbies and such. I don't know. But yeah, who knows why You know, he's either a douche or Glen Hughes did something in the past. And, you know, I saw Deep Purple a couple times in the last, like, 6-7 years. And I gotta say, I was shocked how amazing Ian Paice still is. I mean, he has to be the best drummer in a rock band at his age. You know, you know, maybe there's somebody else out there, but you know, somebody that's been in a professional band since the '60s, playing as good as Ian Paice does now, shocking. Now, of course, Ian Gillan's not going to have that crazy high-pitched voice he had back in the '70s. Nobody that sang like that back then can sing like this. It's expected, so. You know, and I actually noticed the change right after the Born Again tour. I was lucky enough to see the Born Again tour, where he was screaming his ass off and he was amazing. Where the Perfect Strangers tour, he was screaming, he was amazing, but he wasn't really hitting the high highs like in Child of Time. So, already there. And then, you know, it's kind of gone downhill since, but I gotta say, the last time I saw him was an improvement. Of course, he doesn't sing like before, but his voice sounded stronger than it has on previous tours. I've seen Deep Purple a shitload of times, but only once with the great Richie Blackmore. I only got to see the Mach 2 lineup once, but hey, at least I got to see it. And that is my favorite lineup. I know it seems like online, what I see is more people are into the Mach 3 lineup with Hughes and Coverdale. And that's including the great Come Taste the Band, which I love. I love that album. But I'm just saying, you know, it's I'm more of a Mach 2. I love Mach 1 too, but I'd go with Mach 2 than Mach 3, including Come Taste the Band, then back to Mach 1. And then Steve Morse hears, and man, this new guitar player seems to be a better fit in Deep Purple than Steve Morse, if you ask me. What I've heard so far, man, the guy is great, and I look forward to that new album that's coming out, where I have enjoyed the last few Deep Purple albums produced by Bob Ezrin, where he did a fantastic job, which is odd because I don't like what he's been doing with Alice Cooper the last 3-4 albums. Don't like it at all. But I love what he's doing with Deep Purple. Very odd, man, how he's good here, but bad there. I mean, when it comes to my taste. Now, remember when Deep Purple were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is cool. They brought in, you know, they also threw in Coverdale and Glen Hughes as part of it, not just the Mach 2 lineup. But in Mach 1, they did induct the singer, you know, Rod Evans, but not Nick Simpler, the bass player of the first 3 Deep Purple albums. Why wasn't he inducted and Rod Evans was? That makes zero sense to me. But then again, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you know. They're not really into Deep Purple and stuff like that. They're more into Moby Grape and, you know, Jerry Garcia's Underwear or whatever the hell, you know. So, yeah, Deep Purple doesn't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Either the Zeppelin or Black Sabbath or the Beatles or all these bands I love. They should be out of there, you know. I think that should be a vote to get people out of there and keep inducting, you know, Fat Eye Slim or, you know, whoever, you know, TLC, you know, get the Backstreet Boys. I demand the Backstreet Boys to be inducted inside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but you have to get Bon Scott out, all right? Let's do a trade, you know? I will trade you, you know, In Sync for Rush. Whatever. I'm not going to bitch about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because I have grown to realize that they are not the problem. The problem are the people that care about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They suck. Anyway, thank you all for watching the only news that matters. And let me know in the comments below what you feel about. Man, do you think it's because Ian Gillan and Roger Glover and Ian Paice are douchebags? Or do you think that maybe Glenn did something back in the day to piss all three of them off? I don't know, man. Leave it in the comments below what you think. And also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I really would appreciate if you would do that because, you know, I would love to have you as a subscriber because all my subscribers are awesome. And I know you're awesome. So come join the awesome. I really would appreciate that. And ring that little notification bell. That would be groovy, man. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath. And smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.